Blessings, Divine Ones, and thank you for being here today. So in today's video, we will be looking at discussing clues and indicators of adult shame. Let us begin. Adult shame is perhaps the most devastating shame of all, and the most deceptive, and indeed the most insidious level, and the most damaging wave of shame that you can experience. With the previous waves, no matter how devastating they have been, disturbing they might have been, however much they have rocked your boat or seemed to knock you off your course, even at times seemingly hopelessly knocked you off course, none of those previous waves have actually capsized. And like those previous waves, however, this fourth wave of shame, adult shame, with its deep pain, will do just that. It can capsize you. It can be totally destructive force of shame. With each of the previous levels, say it be the pre-verbal shame of infancy, or first break of childhood shame, or teenage shame of adolescent years, yes, they did mess up your past, and they continue to damage, disturb, and disrupt an ever-function of an ever-present child, ever-present infant, ever-present adolescent within. Those previous waves of shame and the various waves of karma have accumulated and have devastatingly impacted you. They have robbed you of the very precious and very valuable pieces of your past, to the extent that the past still influences, to the extent that even for some of you, the past seems to still have control. Those previous waves can be disruptive to your present reality. Those previous waves have twisted and distorted the very foundation of your being, and therefore continue to twist and distort the very function, the very structure of your present, and potentially the very scaffold of your future. But indeed, adult shame with its deadly pain is not something that happened to you. It's not something disruptive or damaged or twisted and distorted. It is something that is twisting, is distorting, is disrupting, and is currently doing damage. It is a shame that did not happen in the past, but in fact it is happening right now in your very present, and is severely threatening your very future. With the previous waves of shame, you can assess when it happened and what damage it did. With the current wave, the adult shame, with its deadly deep pain, you can only anticipate, you can only imagine when it's going to stick fully and completely. And you can only imagine, and you can only anticipate the kind of damage that it's going to do. As difficult as it has been to work with those previous waves, or to work with them currently, you are working with them in retrospect. You are working with them after the fact. You see, you are no longer an infant, you're no longer a child, you are no longer an adolescent, but in fact you are a grown-up who is working with an infant, working with the child, working with the adolescent, and you have the leverage of a grown-up, but you have the leverage that retrospect gives you. So with adult shame, with this current wave of shame, this detaining pain of this adult shame, you don't have the leverage of retrospect. You don't have the leverage of being beyond it or outside of it. With the previous waves, you are in the sense outside, and as you understand, and you know from set theory, you can further understand a set and work with it once you are outside of it. But with adult shame, you are in the midst of the set. Yes, we suppose you can wait till you are outside when you are in the golden years wave. We suppose you could wait till then after you have left this life. Then you could be sufficiently outside the set of adult shame, and then you can look back in retrospect and have the full advantage. But then it's a little too late, isn't it? Then you can come back another lifetime and deal with it at that point, but that's not what you're after or looking for. That solution is perhaps an easy one, but not an adequate one. You are in the midst of the set. You are in the midst of the very adult shame. Therefore, it is more complicated, it is more intricate, and indeed more necessary to deal with it. But it doesn't have to be more difficult. So the first clue you are stuck in adult shame is you do do you find yourself hopelessly watching success slip through your fingers? Almost happened, almost had it, in the palm of your hand, almost had that big break, and then it evaporated. It unraveled itself before your very eyes. You didn't do anything, you just sat there and watched it unravel, watched the very success rip apart, watched the very thing you created slip through your fingers and crumble to pieces. That's adult shame. Or the very thing you wanted wasn't the same as you created, but the very thing you wanted almost happened. You almost had it, but not. You didn't panic, but you watched it impotently as it slipped through your fingers. You prepare and you try to make it work, but no matter what you do, plan for, organize, and dedicate your time and energy to, it falls apart right in front of you. You go numb, you feel worthless, and feel success will never happen for you, no matter what you do. That's adult shame. Do you find yourself threatened? Do you find yourself anxious when success honestly threatens to happen? That's adult shame. You see, as long as I can program and work towards them, as long as I can have them as dreams, not reality, as long as I can have them as a goal, not a current function, then I'm fine and cool. I got it, handled, right? I can program, meditate, I can process, I can do what nobody has ever seen. And then all of a sudden, the dream is happening. All of a sudden, not just pieces of it, not just little bits of it, but the whole darn thing is starting to happen. I'm overwhelmed with anxiety because I am being threatened by the very success of the years that I have been seeking. That is adult shame. Do you find yourself overwhelmed with envy, jealousy, right? Even rage at other people's success? As much as you tell them, oh great, I'm so happy, so glad, you know, that's wonderful. But raging, angry, jealous, and envious in your being, I am absolutely envious of them. What did they do? How come them? Why not me? It's wrong, it's unfair, God is doing this to me. Feeling envious, jealous, even rage at the fact that they are succeeding, the very fact that they are getting what they want, and the fact that their metaphysics is working despite the smiles and congratulations on the surface, and underneath is this tremendous fire brewing. As much as you hate it, you can't help it. That's an indicator that you are in adult shame. You find yourself, no matter how happy reality is, you never really feel happy or refuse to be happy. Always finally, yeah, but it could be, might be, don't count your chicken eggs before they hatch. You always insist on being unhappy, always feeling separate, somehow alienated. You always find yourself, you know, separate with your higher self, soul, or God, goddess. This is adult shame. You always feel separate, always feel like you just don't quite fit in or belong anywhere. Certainly, all of you may feel you don't belong somewhere, but you always feel separate. You hear about other people, about how wonderful and how beautiful things are for them, right? But it's never quite there for you. Always vague, always feel somehow separated, always unhappy no matter how good things are. This is adult shame. Do you find yourself hating yourself, running yourself down, ridiculing yourself without mercy when you make the most insequential error, the slightest transgression? No, it's a big major thing. No, it demonstrates my total lack of caring, my total lack of love, my total lack of insecurities, my total stupidity, right? Hey, it was just a little thing. You messed up here, you messed up there, you forgot this, you didn't do that right. No, I'm not getting to minimize this, right? I'm not going to shove this under the rug. I was rotten, I was a lowlife, I was a scum human, this is terrible. I should be punished, I should be ostracized from all of society. I should never be given another chance. You should never care and love for me ever again. I should be sent off somewhere. Just a little thing. No, don't minimize it. Right? Don't protect me. Don't patronize me. It's a major thing. Yes, it's a little symptom, but it's a symptom I have a huge problem and I hate myself for it. You find yourself doing that. That's adult shame. Or do you overcorrect yourself with grievous mistake at the same time? When you do make a grievous error, you defend it, you deny it, you distract yourself, you fill yourself with delusions, you minimalize, right? It is no big deal. And you're making it a mountain when it's a molehill. It's not my fault, it's your fault. It's your reality. You're creating it. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Why did you create me doing it? It's your perpetration, not mine. The little ones, I'll destroy myself over, but the big ones, oh no, not me. I have nothing to do with that. To delude yourself, defend yourself, distract, deny the very air itself when it's grieving, when it's significant, when it's so big one, right? Titled shame. Or do you panic when someone loves you? They say they love you, right? Or when someone says they need you, relies on you, depends on you, even counts upon you. Somebody loves me, needs me, I don't know what to do. Oh no, I can't bear this. Oh no, I'm being used. That's what it is. They're using me. You know they're needing you. Oh my God, you love me? Oh no, I don't do that. Don't be rash. No. Let's back up and work at it. How much you have sought relationships, how many books you have read, how many workshops you have attended, how many MP3s you have listened to, how many times you have gone about trying to create what I want. I want an intimate relationship. I want someone to love. I want someone to care for. I want someone to love me. Then all of a sudden, okay, I love you. Wow, but wait a minute. Oh my goodness, I wasn't counting on this. Moving too quick here. Whoa, getting too involved. I wasn't ready for this kind of commitment yet. Oh gosh, this is happening too fast. Panic. Oh my God, somebody loves me and I don't know what to do. All right, I know how to try to make somebody love me. I know how to program and create somebody to love me, but I don't know what to do if they really do. I'm not prepared to deal with the fact. I'm prepared to look for love, but not to feel it. I'm prepared to create a relationship, but not to have one. You hang up on me, you'll be sorry. I don't want to do that. I want to prepare to be relied upon. I don't really want to be relied on. I like to prepare to take courses, and I like to study how to become, but I am not really ready to be relied upon, to be needed, to be loved. If I find myself panicking when someone genuinely says, I love you, and I need you, and I'm relying upon you, that's a very large clue you are in the midst of adult shame. Not infant, childhood, but right here, right now, adult stuff, adult shame. Or the world must be fixed before you comply, adult shame. Or do you feel you must be fixed, constantly trying to be whole but can never be whole? That's adult shame. Or do you always catch yourself panicking? That's adult shame. Or do you catch yourself always filled with worry? That's adult shame. Or are you on the fence of life? That's adult shame. Are you drenched in your absolute battle of righteousness? That's adult shame. Or do you seek revenge? Or do you want to carry it out? I've got to get even with rage, spitefulness, and revenge. Or they should know better. That's adult shame. Or do you beat yourself up for silly mistakes that you've made? That's adult shame. Or do you feel unstable? That's adult shame. Or do you feel you never will be or never have been? That's adult shame. Or do you want to run but freeze and can't move? That's adult shame. Or do you feel like a loner, a loser, a failure of life fully expressed? That's adult shame. These are the clues that you're wrapped up in the midst of the here and now, right smack dab in the center of the set of the pain of adult shame. Maybe they are not exactly yours, but if these kinds of things are going on with you, then you have adult shame. You need to come to peace with the fact it's here. Not with the content of it, not with what you're doing with it perhaps, but you need to come to peace with the fact that it's here. And if you would like any deep, energetic feeling around these clues and indicators of adult shame, then I'd be happy to assist you. You will learn the specific techniques geared precisely with this kind of shame, to end the shame completely and conclusively. So be it to that. thank you for listening to me today. This is Chris Parr, Syrian and Lemurian Wisdoms and Teachings.